Hey to you, welcome to the first day of the rest of your life. Isn't it wonderful to be alive? Got some really good points on that coming up in a moment. However, I've lost my list of people whose birthdays it is today, so hopefully bear with me if I just and I'm back. Sorry about that. Although obviously there's nobody on live, so it's fantastic. I've got a new location. Can you see? How do you like it? I'm out in the forest kind of area. I used to record my podcast when I did podcasts, sitting on that little log over there. So a bit of a blast from the past here. I quite like it though. I'm set up on a tree here. I can't really show you that. Maybe I'll show you that at the end if I have time. No, I'm going to do it now because, you know, yeah, why not? Here we go. There you go. Just set up on this little thing here with a little twig to hold it. There's a little hole in the branch that allows me to just prop it up nicely there. There we go. Beautiful. Anyway, hello. How are you doing? 1 minute in. Happy birthday. Welcome to the first day of the rest of your life, and happy birthday to the people whose real birthdays it is today. However, there's even more than that. Happy birthday to Nick, Paul, Mandie, Linda, Heather, Liz, Jess, Di, Anne, Ian and Stef, who's on the list today. I'll go through this in a little bit more detail in a moment. But also, happy Star Wars Day. I forgot to start with that. I was meant to start with that, wasn't I? Never mind. May the 4th be with you. That's where Star Wars Day thing comes from. And also, happy anniversary to me. This is 1 year since I first started doing these lives. I probably should have done it in the same place I started them. I wonder where I was when I started them. Oh yeah, I was over by the by the back of the primary school. Anyway, it's as good a place as any to have the 1 year anniversary. Happy anniversary to me. Hello viewer. I can't see who the viewer is, but anyway, there you go. When you say hello, then that'll be great, and we can say hello there. Nick Jarvie, went to school with him. Heather Mitchell, I met on a cruise in the Caribbean. How are you doing, Heather? I noticed you're in San Diego. I've got a visit to San Diego planned at some point for the future. My friend Erin lives over there, so lots of actually people in San Diego that I know, thinking about it. Jess Waterman used to run the theatre in Dean Close School, my old school, which is where Nick and I went to school, Dean Close. Hope you're well, Jess. Not sure what you're up to these days. Let me know. Di Jones, met on an NLP course, my first one in 2014. The point at which I switched from being an IT person into being a mental health talker and presenter and so forth, because I hated IT. I went through this thing, and we did a sort of values thing about what you love in life, and it turned out I didn't like that sort of stuff. Ian Greaves, who I used to play basketball with at the Cheltenham Pumas, and who's a driving instructor now, and Stef Glover, who I met through, gosh, who did I meet you through? Karen originally, I suppose, didn't I? She went for Miss Cheltenham. I don't think you quite got the Miss Cheltenham. Now you went to Miss Gloucester and missed that one as well. But yeah, I think I met you through Karen originally, my girlfriend, and therefore through your sister. I think that's where it originally came from. Anyway, I hope you all had lovely happy birthdays, and those people who I didn't mention there, please feel free to let me know how I know you, where I know you from, what you do, and what people can buy from you if they want to buy from you. Good morning, Tom. I see Tom watching us now. How are you doing, Tom? Right, into the meat of the topic. Oh, we're going to do the blowing out candle thing. And what are we going to do? What's the one thing you're going to get done today? You know what one thing is that I'm going to be doing today, and I'm going to make sure I get it done today, so that'll be cool. Blow out the candle. Take this hand, put it on your heart. Breathe in 5 through your nose. Light up the candles in your hand, and then blow them out. When you're doing that, by the way, that's the hold for 5 thing. So you breathe in for 5, hold for 5, and then blow out for 5. Do that 5 times, ideally. That'll be fantastic. And then wish happy birthday to those people whose happy birthdays it is today, and yourself and me for my 1 year anniversary of doing these lives. So yeah, cool. And now into the meat of the topic. Sorry it's taken so long, and I've got loads of stuff to talk about as well. So let me just get rid of this note, which isn't going away for some reason. Why isn't it going away? There you go. Nope, that's the wrong one. This one up here, we'll get there eventually. Gosh, this is annoying. It's annoying when these things don't work. Come on, there you go. Nope, come on, drop down. There you go. Right. Lots of topics. Oh, I was going to say, the other thing I was going to say is this came from the Sadhguru video, which is in the description below. He basically said, isn't it a wonderful time to be alive, like I always say. Every day is your birthday if you choose to celebrate it, because you've woken up this morning, and you get to see this view. That's lovely. But also you're here, you're watching me now, and apparently I don't know what the actual statistics are, but he said over 1 million people didn't wake up this morning. Think about that for a second. You're one of the billions of people who did wake up this morning and who are still here on Earth to enjoy the rest of the day. And also, of course, there are also loads and loads of people in this world for whom a loved one, for whom 1 million loved ones died. You understand the concept of saying. If 1 million people didn't wake up this morning, that means for more than 1 million people, one of their loved ones died last night and didn't wake up this morning, and so they've got a traumatic day today. So yeah, it's a bit of a tragic way of thinking it, but the whole idea is to celebrate the life that you're on today. The fact that you're alive right now, enjoying this video, is a positive reason to be alive and should be celebrated, which is why I always say every day is your birthday, because you woke up this morning and you had a new birthday. Fantastic. And actually, this leads into the topic, which is really from Dr. G something Mates, or Mate rather. Mate, I think is probably actually how you pronounce it. Very good top 10 in the description below as well. So we're going to spend a lot of time talking about what he talked about, because it's very good, about trauma and traumatic experiences, childhood trauma, how it affects you in adult life, and what you can do about it as well, which is fantastic news. So probably should have started with that in this morning, but there you go. These things happen, don't they? Children, when they wake up on Christmas morning, they wake up before their parents. They're very excited. They want to know what's going to happen. It's a change. There's something is going to happen today. They're going to get a new toy. There's something new is going to happen today, and they're excited about there's something new that's going to happen. But for some reason, when we become adults, we stop being excited about new things. We start getting scared of these new things. Actually, this came out in the money book, the Happy Money book that I'm reading at the moment. It's linked in the description as well. And they were talking about how it's talking about fear. Actually, we're talking about fear, anxiety, doubt, and self-confidence. And I wrapped those up again and said, well, I'm going to add into that anxiety. Anxiety, yes. Doubt, fear, uncertainty. That's it. Uncertainty. That's what I was going to say. So, but anyway, so I rearranged the letters and I made it DAFUC. So I think you can understand what that actually sounds like. But it's doubt, doubt, anxiety, fear, uncertainty, and self-confidence, or lack of self-confidence. Actually, the last one is it. DAFUC. I think you know what that's going to sound like when you say it out loud. And these are all things that hold us back and cause us problems later in our lives. And this guy, Dr. whatever his name was, it's in the description. Go and check it out. I think I can go and have a look at the description actually, can't I? If I go to here, this one? Is it the one? Yes, there we go. We're getting there. It is Dr. Gabor Mate, I think his name is. Anyway, so yes, so he was talking about, and I can't remember what I was saying now. Oh my God! See, I always lose my trains of thoughts. It's not a good idea. It's not good. Look, things come from your childhood, and really good topics anyway. Basically about how these things can affect you in childhood, but you then carry them forward into your adulthood. And the kind of key thing he was saying there is that as a child, you're reliant on your parents, so you are basically helpless without your parents. And so what your parents say and what the people, the adults around you say and do is keeping you safe. And so you look to them for advice and do what they say and all that kind of stuff. And parents say, do what I say, not what I do, that kind of stuff, isn't it? But yes, so you're helpless in that situation as a child. And you can have sort of traumatic events and sort of stuff that happens as a child. And then you can also have lessons that you're learning and things that you're doing. And so you kind of learn these patterns, these beliefs as children. But what happens a lot of the time is that we carry those forward into our adulthood. So then we become helpless in adulthood as well. And this is why we get into these relationship situations, these dangerous situations where we're relying on other people. And here's a really cool thing about how in love songs they talk about I can't live without you, that kind of stuff, and I'm your baby, that kind of stuff, which is all going back to that sort of childhood. You know, I'm a baby, I can't live without you, you're in charge of me, you're controlling me, all that kind of stuff, which is, you know, dangerous thinking, to say the least. But the whole point of this is that you can have these things as children, but as an adult they become ingrained beliefs and default behaviors that we can overcome as an adult, because we can say, okay, thanks very much for that information, that input. but I'm going to choose to do something different. We talked about choices in the past, and I saw Sian Williams, I think, who's a newsreader, who's retrained as a psychotherapist or something like that anyway, and she was saying the same thing, saying we do these shoulds all the time, and these shoulds come from other people. I should behave like this, I should do this, but no, what you really want to do is you want to take the choice, take the power back, and give yourself the choice of being able to decide what you want to do going forward. So rather than learned helplessness that you've got from your childhood, you need to take control, recognize it, look at the thoughts and go, that's a thought I had, that was an automated behavior that was going on there. There's an automatic reaction to something. Guilt and anger are classic ones of these things. And he calls them stupid friends. They're stupid friends because they don't understand that you're an adult now, you're not a child anymore. You no longer have to rely on your parents for life. You can control your own life now, so you can make these choices going forward and replace those shoulds with can, choose tos. Take the power back, yes, and so you can say to them, and this is in the description below, thanks for saving me as a child to these negative thoughts that you've got going on now, but I'm an adult now and I can choose rather than acting automatically on those thoughts, because as a child you were helpless. Good morning, Samantha, thank you very much for coming on and saying hello. So now as an adult you can survive on your own. Now he talked about some interesting things as well before I wrap up here, a couple of other interesting topics which I need to investigate further, but he was talking about a lot of people who have asthma. Now again, this is all, I don't know if this is true or not, but he was saying that a lot of people who have asthma had stress as children, and their parents were stressed rather when they were children, and therefore the asthma comes from the parents' stress because they kind of trained the children to, and don't get me wrong on this, I've not looked into this is not medical advice in any way, shape, form or whatever, but they're saying that the child's stress systems didn't really work very well, and he was talking about how when you're given inhalers, I don't know anything about this stuff, but you have an adrenaline which opens up the tubes to allow more oxygen into your lungs, and you have a cortisol thing which then suppresses the inflammation inside your lungs. But of course when you think about the adrenaline and cortisol, those are both stress things that we're pumping into us, and the reason that they're not being produced correctly by that child is because their adrenal glands have become suppressed. Now I don't know if this is true or not, this is really fascinating stuff, I'm going to need to look into this more, but I love the concept of, because it fits in with everything else that I teach, it's that there are natural ways. So the drugs are really useful and good to get over the hump and the real initial problem. So I talk about this with antidepressants, and I'm looking into doing this with ADHD medication as well, the same sort of stuff. But I'm convinced that our bodies are designed to deal with all these things not automatically and naturally, but we just need to retrain our bodies. We need to go through the process of learning and repeating the good stuff, the correct way of making our bodies work, so that then we can naturally deal with these things rather than needing the drugs to overcome some sort of lack which is in our bodies, because we're not treating them right, because we're not doing the right things, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm running out of time now already, but I just love that concept of being able to control your own body. It's the same thing as making control of your own minds. You've got these thoughts and it's an automatic thing by default, but as soon as you start looking at those thoughts and thinking about them, I always talk about the ACE thing, so ACE, become aware, make choices, put in effort over time. I've talked about that a lot, and it's the same thing. Become aware of it, make some different choices, put in effort over time to change your body, change your chemical makeup, change the things you're doing on a daily basis, and improve your life going forward. Yes, so fantastic. And the other thing that he just said, which is quite funny, I love this, he said when parents say to their children, because the children become these kind of like learned helplessness situation, and the parents will say to them, I've told him 1,000 times and he's still not doing it, and he said, who is it that's got the learning difficulty here? It's the parents. Told him 1,000 times, it clearly hasn't got the message across, clearly hasn't figured out why this child is not doing the thing that the parent is telling them to do. And what they need to do is go back to look at the root, because this guy's an addiction therapist, I think, as far as I can tell. And so he always looks at, so you're treating the pain now, but what you should be looking at is what was the pain, what was the thing that created the pain in the first place. Hello Jeff, good morning. I've run out of time. I don't want to edit these things, so I'm going to love you all now, send you all the love. Send you out to the world with all that information. Go back and watch it again if you haven't watched it yet, Jeff. This is a good one, and I will see you all tomorrow with some more interesting stuff. Hopefully we'll have maybe investigated this stuff a little bit further, but it's all good stuff. Take care, guys. Bye for now. Okay, that's the cut-off point for the Instagrammers. But if you're still watching on Facebook, I just wanted to kind of clear my head and go, have I actually finished everything I wanted to say? Because it's always kind of fun when I have this kind of afterthoughts, when I calm down, when I realise I've overrun on the time. But what I always hate doing is adding too much content in here, because I feel like the Instagrammers miss out on the content, which is really frustrating. Mind you, I suppose I could always say to the Instagrammers, go and check me out on YouTube. The unedited version is on YouTube. You can get the extra bits. It's like with the extra bits on Instagram, on YouTube. Anyway, I think that was probably it. That probably was all the details I wanted to say. Yes, just have a look at all these things. It's all just feeding into... Okay, this is a really good point, actually. This is all feeding into the stuff that I teach people. And so if you want more information on this stuff, you want to learn more about this thing, I've got a whole 12 weeks you can spend with me learning this stuff, and we can go much more detail and depth and look at your specific situation and any questions you've got specifically about your life in the past and so forth. So these are all things that we can look at in the past, look at it as part of that 12-week program. We do have a 7-day Kickstarter, which is kind of like a mini version just to get you used to all this thing, just get you started on this journey. So if you're struggling with depression or anxiety, or you know anybody who is, the 7-day Kickstarter is definitely something they should look at. And then obviously there is an upsell inside that, and say, okay, well, if you enjoyed this 7-day thing, and you want to join me on a 12-week journey, then that's the next step. If you want to delve into this stuff more details, you want to embed it over a long period of time, you can do the 12 weeks on your own. You don't have to have me helping you out with this stuff. And we have a group program which is slightly cheaper as well. So or you can do it one-to-one and get like really personalized stuff. That's the plan. That's what should be happening, and that's what I've got to go and do today. That's my one thing I've got to go do today, is to finish off that landing page, so that then I can say to people, go to my landing page, go and have a look and see what we're doing during the 7 days, and see if that's interest to you, see what the price is. I think it's going to be something like £18 or something like that, or might even be £7 early bird option on that one, for the people who sign up early. And then there'll be a VIP option where you can come and spend time with me every day in a Zoom call, if you want that. And then there'll be an upgrade as well, where you can get one of my freedom cubes as part of the package as well, at a special price, and all the sort of mini courses that go along with that, like how to solve the cube, and as part of all that as well. Cool. And then obviously the 12-week thing, where we go into a lot more detail and make sure we embed that stuff over. We do 3 30-day sprints, effectively 3 30-day, so 3 months, and we look at spending the first month doing a whole bunch of things to embed those habits, and then we tweak it if necessary for the second month, and then the third month is making sure everything's stuck and embedded in our mindsets. So cool. Anyway, that's all from me. All that stuff is coming very, very soon, and please pass on that information to somebody who, if you know, who is struggling with life and isn't enjoying life and wants to know how they can gain control of their emotions, their thoughts, and their bodies to a certain extent. Okay, that's all from me now. I really am going to finish off now. Send much more love. Take care, guys. Have a lovely Monday, Tuesday. Oh, we had a bank holiday, didn't we? So Tuesday. Yeah. Take care, guys. Bye for now.